collegiate performing arts programs have some sort of vocal pathology. And a vocal pathology is something that's wrong with the voice that requires medical attention before a singer can safely pursue their training. So this is a really startling statistic, and doctors and specialists are starting to come to us voice teachers who work with young students to teach you about vocal hygiene and how to safely use your voice and take care of it. Because the voice is a very delicate instrument, and it's easy to permanently damage your voice where it will never be the same again. So we don't want that to happen. So we're going to be talking about tools that you can use to help take care of your voice and activities to avoid that can potentially be harmful to your voice. So I know probably all of us at some point have had some sort of voice problem. We've lost our voice. It sounded funky. Has anyone here had those problems? What kind of problems have you guys had? Losing your voice?
When your voice starts to lower.
When your voice starts to lower, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it.
But that can happen with your voice problem too. What else? All the things. Okay.
Mucus goes right on your
Mucus. Yes. What do we do about the mucus? So there's all kinds of problems that can hurt our voice. And the thing about voice problems is they affect our goals, right? Whether we want to be famous and have a career on stage, having voice problems definitely affects our ability to perform. Remember Adele, and she had to have voice surgery before she could continue with her career. There's some debate as to whether that was because of how she was using her voice or whether she always had the polyp that she had. But anyway, that it can cause dysfunction. Maybe we want to help people with their music. Music is a very healing art, and maybe we want to help people. When we're sick, we can't help people. Or we just want to sing in the shower and have fun singing in choir with our friends. Maybe some of your goals are just to get a solo in one of the choir concerts, right? So how much does having something wrong with your voice derail those goals? It does. So a lot of those issues can be prevented by avoiding bad vocal practices, and we're going to be talking about some of those today. So the first step into pursuing your goals is taking care of your voice, taking care of your body. Okay? So let's talk about what the voice is a little bit. We're going to be getting more in depth into the function of the voice in later lectures, but I'm just going to give you a little bit so you can understand what we're talking about. So here are your lungs. Air comes from your lungs and hits your vocal folds, makes them vibrate, which creates a disruption in the air and creates sound wave that travels up through the filter, through your throat and your mouth, which shapes the sound or filters the sound, and then it comes out the mouth, as singing, right? But do you guys know where your vocal folds are located?
Are they by your lymph nodes?
By your lymph nodes? Okay, well, how about I show you? Put your hand on your throat and swallow. Feel that thing, that lump that goes up and down? So that's your larynx. So your vocal folds are in there. And specifically, if you feel around to where, find the spot that sticks out the most, sometimes we refer to it as the Adam's apple. Okay? It's like a little nut. So right behind there is where the vocal folds are housed. Okay? And I'm going to show you what they look like in a minute. So beware graphic images of throats coming out. Miss Osterman can't see you. So this is a quartet that went into the doctor's office to have their vocal folds looked at while they were singing. So we're going up the nose. And this is the camera that's on the end of the tube. We're going through the nasal cavity.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Okay. Hey, bring it down a little bit so I can tell you what's going on. That's the soft palate that we're peeking over. And those are the vocal folds right there. Okay? Those little.
In your nose.
Oh, it's so weird.
So the dark area in between is the trachea. So that's the pipe that goes down into the lungs. So air is coming up through the lungs when they're open. They're breathing. This is the soprano. That's the alto, the tenor, and the bass. Do you see the difference in size between the bass and the soprano?
It looks like a potato chip.
That's called the epiglottis. So, I just want to turn it down so I can talk. So the vocal folds, they come together, and as air passes through them, it sets them vibrating. So if you take your hands and put them together slowly, did it make any sound? No. Look like that. That quick closure displaces air and creates an energy wave, a sound wave that our ear interprets as sound. So that's essentially what happens with the vocal folds. You can't see it. You can't see that really the vibrations and them coming together right now because it's happening so quickly. For instance, to kind of show you how quickly they might be vibrating. This note right here. Can everyone sing that? So guys, if you came out the octave. So to sing that pitch, your vocal folds have to vibrate 440 times per second. And it goes up exponentially as you get higher in pitch.
So if you're going like, that's like way slower, right?
It's a little bit slower, but it's still hundreds of times per second. Yeah? So essentially, it's hard to see. Where's my clicker? Oh. It's hard to see that fast with the naked eye. So the next video I'm going to show you is a stroboscopy. So essentially, it's a special camera that slows down the vibration so we can see it. So you see how they shorten to sing a low note?
That's so cool.
I love it.
And they're getting longer as she's singing higher pitch.
That's pretty neat.
That's cool. Do you see the little pearly things? That's mucus, and we're going to be talking about that. Wait, what's this? Oh, the little pearly things.
All right.
And do you see how the structures around are moving as well?
This is so cool. This isn't gross. This is cool.
That's serious.
I think it's interesting.
It's neat.
So if you
You're
want to
gross.
see, if you want to see Michelle's she has
Neat.
Oh wait, really?
And
Hey, that's
Do it.
neat.
Not right now, but later. We don't have that time.
Hey, that's neat.
These are mine. So essentially,
What?
so one of the dangers of using our voice, or one of the potential or what am I trying to say? One of the things we're working against when we sing is friction. Because when the vocal folds are vibrating together that quickly and that many times per second, there's a potential for a lot of friction to build up. And what happens if you have a machine that's moving quickly that doesn't have oil in it or enough oil?
It starts to
It
grind.
It grinds, the engine eventually starts to break down, yeah? So the oil for our vocal folds is the mucosal membrane that we saw in the video. The vocal fold is a muscle that's covered by a mucosal membrane, and how slippery that mucus is will directly affect our vocal health. And there's a lot of things that can affect that mucosal membrane, that can damage that mucosal membrane, that can leave permanent scar tissue in that gelatinous part of the voice. And we're going to be talking about that.
Oh,
So let's talk about, yes.
I was gonna ask, does mucus provide? Is it the more the mucus, is it better or is it worse?
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what are some potential warning signs that you have a voice problem? We're going to be talking about this. 1, has your voice become hoarse or raspy?
I don't know.
Morning.
Not really.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you lost ability to sing some high notes?
Yes. Very.
Okay. Okay. Does your voice sound suddenly deeper? Like suddenly?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
I can't tell.
Does your throat often feel raw, achy, or strained?
Oh. What are we gonna do that? I'm sorry.
Has it become an effort to talk?
For these guys, no.
Do you find yourself repeatedly clearing your throat? So it's like you feel like you constantly kind of have like you constantly have a little tickle and then kind of.
Oh, I don't like them.
I hate that.
These are all indications of a voice disorder. And if you have 2 weeks of persistent voice problems that are not resolving, it's time to go to the doctor. Okay? To check out, to make sure that there's nothing more serious that might need a medical intervention to go on. Sometimes the first indication for throat cancer is to be changes in the voice. So this can be a serious, this can be not at your guys' age, I don't want to freak you out, but it's an indication of your overall health, because what happens in your body is going to affect your voice. Now, that's not to say that a vocal injury is anything to be ashamed of. When we're singers, we're vocal athletes, and don't even talk to your professional athletes get injured sometimes. Yeah. So sometimes we just need help. We need a doctor. We need to go to the clinic and get taken care of. But knowledge is power. And I'm going to give you some tools about activities to avoid and things to do to help your voice.